Hi everyone.
So we're looking now at Westminster. Anybody want to open up on that?
Well, I've got some news just from Westminster. On Thursday, the Supreme Court is going to issue its judgment about whether or not Northern Ireland is compliant with human rights in relation to not allowing women to have abortions when there's a fatal fetal abnormality or when she's pregnant as a result of rape.
I've come to a campaign meeting at the Alliance for Choice group in Derry. They're planning their next moves in their bid to overturn the virtual ban on abortion in Northern Ireland, hoping to follow the referendum result in the Republic. You can feel the excitement.
They see thousands of people on the streets here in Northern Ireland saying, we want abortion rights now. They're not going to be able to ignore it.
There's so much enthusiasm in this room. Many people here in Northern Ireland have been galvanised by the result in the South. But now the question is how they're going to be able to make a change here too.
I know people like my family, people in my community, people who I never would imagine would have joined a rally, would have spoken out on Facebook. It's happening. The tipping point is here, and it's coming, and it's been a long time in the works.
Gretchen Horgan has campaigned for abortion rights for 40 years.
We know women who've, punched themselves in the stomach, who've drunk bleach, who've thrown themselves downstairs, who've done all of those kind of things to try to end pregnancies. I'm in my 60s now, and the reason that I have been doing this since I was in my 20s is because I worked with a woman whose sister-in-law died and left 4 small children behind her because she tried to, before the 67 Act, she tried to cause her own abortion using a knitting needle and died.
Abortion laws in Northern Ireland haven't changed since 1967, when it was legalised in the rest of the UK. Terminations are only allowed here where the mother's life is at risk. In recent years, women who've taken abortion pills have been given suspended sentences, though those who terminate can face potential life in jail. But public opinion in Northern Ireland is definitely changing. In a 2016 poll, over 80% said abortion should be legal in cases of serious fatal abnormality. 50% said that abortion should definitely be legal in a case of rape or incest. One recent poll found that over half supported abortion up to 12 weeks, the current proposal for legalisation in the Republic of Ireland. But for now, many women in Northern Ireland resort to illegally buying abortion pills online. Kate, not her real name, is a single mother living with her parents.
I was single and was dealing with an abusive ex-partner. I knew I could not come home pregnant again. I came home pregnant the year before and it was shameful. It was like, what have you done? You've ruined your life. I knew that if I came home pregnant again, I'd be made homeless. I just looked at the baby I had in my arms and I thought, you deserve better. I'll never forget.
At university, Kate found someone who provided her advice and some abortion pills, but she had to travel 3 hours on a bus to find a secure place to take them.
So I took the pill, then 24 hours later I took the next 4 that dissolve in your mouth. I could only stay 1 more day, and for some reason I didn't start to bleed until 24 hours after the time it said you would bleed. So I ended up bleeding on the bus on the way home while holding a 5-month-old baby on a 3-hour bus, and that's when my bleeding started very heavily.
Did that scare you?
At that point, I would have liked to have gone and asked a doctor and got some support. I was too petrified in case the doctor found out really why I was there, because legally they would have to report you to the police.
And what would happen then?
As far as I'm aware, it's a life imprisonment, potentially. And for me, I have a baby who I love so much, and I was having an abortion because that was the best decision and the best outcome for the child I had to have a future.
How did you feel about the whole situation?
The abortion, for me, and taking the pills, I found a very practical solution. But also, I'm a mother, a sister, an auntie, a cousin, a granddaughter. But I'm also a criminal in the eyes of the law now. I've broken the law. And that makes me feel to this day heartbroken.
Out in Belfast city centre, pro-life campaigners are fighting for abortion to remain illegal in Northern Ireland. But the referendum result in the South has left its mark.
Yeah, obviously we were, incredibly disappointed with the result. However, the fight does still go on. There is an incredible amount of pressure on Northern Ireland now because of the decision. However, we're still battling, we're still going to fight this, and Northern Ireland is still, a beacon of light and a beacon of hope.
Do you worry about what's to come if the law changes here in Northern Ireland? Like, what will that mean for you?
So we're hoping here that the law is not going to change in Northern Ireland. The reality of it is Northern Ireland should be like any other democracy where politicians from Northern Ireland make the laws in Northern Ireland. Politicians who are voted in Northern Ireland should make the laws in Northern Ireland. Westminster should not be butting in to make our laws to force abortion on Northern Ireland. So as long as Westminster realise that and don't impose abortion on Northern Ireland, which they have no right to do, since abortion has always been a devolved issue in Northern Ireland, there's no risk.
But MPs from across all parties in Westminster are pushing for a change in the law in Northern Ireland, except the DUP. We caught up with one of their MPs, Geoffrey Donaldson.
This is a devolved issue. The 1998 agreement was a very finely balanced constitutional settlement. I think if you upset that settlement, if you set aside the principle of devolution, you will undermine the entire constitutional arrangements for Northern Ireland.
Because for now, there's many women that we have spoken to during our investigation that are being forced to use illegal abortion pills because of the laws in Northern Ireland. What do you think about that?
Well, we don't want women using illegal abortion pills, quite clearly. But people in Northern Ireland are very clear. None of the main political parties, Sinn Féin, the SDLP, the UUP, DUP, none of them support extending the 1967 Abortion Act to Northern Ireland. That is very clear. That reflects the settled will of the people of Northern Ireland. What we need to do is look at the very sensitive cases that you've referred to, and we need to come up with solutions. And that is what we're committed to doing.
But in Northern Ireland, political paralysis means very little is happening. The devolved parliament in Stormont has not sat since January last year. And that means that those women deliberating over abortion will have little choice but to wait, unless Westminster decides to act.